While waiting for the rumored announcement of a new Star Wars strategy game, we got an announcement I didn't expect, a Star Trek 4X game with an unfortunate acronym, Star Trek Infinite. I think this is a pretty cool announcement for a few reasons, including a few which are probably going to be sources of complaints for some other people, but hear me out on this. Essentially, we simultaneously know very little and a ton about the game, because while we haven't had much information about Infinite itself, we know the game is a collaboration between Nimble Giant and Paradox as the publisher, and that it's built on, quote, core technology and systems of Stellaris, end quote. Using the secret technology of having played Stellaris before, I can make some assumptions about what that might mean, and the few images we do have to go on of the game tend to show that connection. It looks very similar to Stellaris. This leaves a lot of open questions which could impact how I ultimately feel about the game, particularly pricing, but I think fundamentally this is a really good idea. The core systems of Stellaris are obviously really appealing to people, and with the popularity of the mod scene for Stellaris, converting the game to other franchises including Star Trek and Star Wars, and being able to do that with a lot more control over changing parts of the game that are less friendly to different universes is a huge benefit over what mods can provide. I'm not saying that because I hate mods, but instead because I'm pretty familiar with the limitation we're often faced when making mods, and I know the problems I've considered when thinking about different ways to represent Star Wars in Stellaris. After all, being based on the tech behind Stellaris doesn't mean that it's just a basic reskin of the game. I'm a big Total War fan, and I think they're the best example of iterating on a core set of mechanics to provide a different experience tailored to a particular franchise, like Total War has done with the Warhammer Total War games, and with the different time periods in the other Total War games, so I can't really see any reason why the fundamental idea couldn't or wouldn't work here. There is of course this question of what the game will cost, and the connected question of how much difference there will be playing a Star Trek mod for Stellaris versus playing Star Trek Infinite, but with just looking at the core idea, because that's all we have right now, if this is handled properly, I could see it opening the door for Paradox to tackle similar projects either themselves or in partnership with other developers like they're doing with Nimble Giant here. Whether that means a Star Wars or Mass Effect 4X game also based on Stellaris, which I'm definitely not begging for, or a licensed Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings conversion for Crusader Kings or God forbid Imperial Rome, which I hear actually did get much better before getting sunset, but oh well. In the games industry, there's always the chance of something just being a cash grab, but I'm not going to jump to that conclusion yet. Let me know what you think in the comments though. Do you have any expectations for Infinite? Is there something specific you want to see change for the Star Trek setting? Or is there maybe another franchise you'd like to see a different Paradox game converted into? Thanks for watching. It's definitely a game we're going to be keeping an eye on here on the channel.